Welcome back to Address the Harm podcast. I'm Leah Brown FRSA, your host, and this is a special bonus episode. This week has been extraordinary. Following our conversation with Andy Evans about the infected blood scandal, we've participated in a roundtable in the House of Lords centering survivor voices on the long-form white paper that birthed this campaign. We've received several powerful emails from survivors that have helped us understand the breadth of institutional harm more deeply, and we saw a lot of press coverage about our work. Just this evening, the BBC interviewed families of Grenfell victims as the 2-year tower demolition begins. Over 8 years after the fire that took 72 lives, their families are still waiting for justice to be done. Today, I want to thank you for engaging with us. The response to our podcast has been humbling. You've listened, you've shared episodes, and most importantly, you've written to us. These emails aren't just feedback, they're acts of courage. Survivors reaching out to correct the record, to add context, to ensure we're telling the whole truth. This is exactly what we need, so please keep them coming. Email us, challenge us, help us get this right. Because when we amplify survivor voices accurately, we create the pressure needed for genuine institutional change. This short segment will address some crucial clarifications from our last episode and restate what Address the Harm is truly about before our forthcoming next episode. Now, after episode 1, we received detailed emails from survivors who rightly pointed out that our description of the infected blood scandal was incomplete. Up to 30,000 NHS patients were given contaminated blood via whole blood transfusions between 1970 and 1995, and many of these survivors have never been registered on any support schemes. They've received no monthly payments, no interim compensation, nothing. One survivor wrote to us explaining that despite being infected with hepatitis C following a transfusion, despite hospital records showing isolation due to infection, and despite being diagnosed with several chronic conditions, they still can't access the schemes because they spontaneously cleared the infection. Which means the compensation system is discriminatory in profound ways. There's a cutoff date at 1995 that blocks many survivors. There are inheritance tax issues affecting bereaved families. There's a hierarchy that values HIV deaths over hepatitis C deaths. And of course, the psychological impact on affected families has been entirely excluded. As one survivor told us, dead is dead, except when it comes to the infected blood scandal. Because children who've lost parents receive the same £59,000 whether their parents survived or died, whilst children of HIV survivors receive more. Bereaved families whose loved one died before May 2024 have had their individual claims eradicated entirely. The devil is in the detail. These ongoing harms compounded by an erroneous system, and the scandal continues in how compensation is being administered. And we know when we zoom out that these inconsistencies are not exclusive to this particular scandal, which is why we need an independent office for institutional accountability. We've also heard this week from a whistleblower about cybersecurity failures regarding children in care. We've heard about data breaches and communication failures. We've heard from domestic abuse survivors, Met Police whistleblowers, survivors of abuse from school teachers, and many other voices. Let me be absolutely clear about what the Address the Harm campaign represents. The Coalition for Institutional Accountability is centering the voices that Britain's institutions work hardest to silence to effect change. From Home Office failures to police cover-ups, survivors have become unwilling experts in institutional failure. They know what went wrong, why it keeps happening, and how to stop it, but the institutions harming them rarely ask them. This community recognises all survivors of public sector institutional harm and provides an umbrella for other campaigns: whistleblowers, wrongly convicted sub-postmasters, Grenfell families, Hillsborough families, church abuse survivors, police misconduct, all of it. We're advocating for an independent office for institutional accountability that would end institutional self-investigation, mandate restorative processes, including acknowledgement, apology, accountability, and oversee the implementation of preventative remedial measures designed by affected communities to make amends. No survivor's experience invalidates another, and we will not let institutions divide us by creating hierarchies of harm. Our aim is to ensure government addresses all of the harm, not some of it. We've updated our website with the corrected information about Andy Evans and tainted blood, and the revised description now properly distinguishes between the haemophiliac community and broader whole blood transfusion victims. If you spot anything else that needs correcting, please email us at press@addresstheharm.org. Why not share this podcast episode? If you enjoyed it, please do rate and subscribe, as the next episode is coming this week. Do also visit addresstheharm.org to read our white paper, to support our crowdfund, and follow us on social media at Address the Harm. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. And thank you for helping us address the harm so survivors can heal. Copyright 2025, Leah Talks Limited. All rights reserved.